Hey guys, all right, episode 5 of these Buffalo Sabres. We are about a month out from the trade deadline. We're in February, third spot in the division. Seeing if we can't make our push for our first ever playoff run. Obviously, if we don't get in, it's not the end of the world yet, as we are still waiting for the team to kind of develop after shedding literally all of the stuff that we don't want from these Sabres and building them back up. Byfield having kind of a rough season. 24 games played. He was hurt for quite some time. 7 points, as that's just not going to do it. But we've got to keep him here, see if we can't get him going. Casey Middlestead, though, having a good season, up to an 84 overall. On defense, obviously, John Gilmore's in for the injured Jamie Drysdale, which is, kind of a rough one. But we'll wait and see if he can, come back in and help out the squad here. Those two injuries aside have kind of really hurt things as far as the development for this year. However, what I want to do real quick here is just take a look at the standings and points. As Eichel again looking, as our point per game guy, and so just the leader as normal. One thing I do want to go over and make sure is that Byfield was not on the power play for a little while there after he got hurt, and I need to make sure that that is adjusted, as we want to make sure that he's on the power play. As we'll move Strome off for Byfield. Changing current line is Dahlin and Ristolainen. That's fine. With Sam Reinhart down here. I'll move Middlestead up as well, as he's having a fantastic season. Olofsson and Gilmore. Actually, does this change anything? No. So we have a right-handed shot. That's fine. Okay. We'll see if that does anything. As far as the trade deadline coming up here, I mean, there's only a few trades that we can make. Johansson is probably the only one, and Jake McCabe is. They're both on expiring deals, and both guys that I don't anticipate keeping going forward, so we'll see if we can get a trade for them. After that, that's pretty much it. In the AHL, things not going as well, but they're not terrible. 25, 18, and 3, with Jacob Bryson, our defenseman, kind of leading the way there, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as our goaltender of the future, having a good run as well. So let's get to the sim, see if we can either lock up a playoff spot or get, some more clarity on the situation as we zone in here. And Merzlikins is able to return, so Aiden Hill can get sent down, which is good. So we'll go like this. Actually, you know what? 1 second. Yeah, that's okay if he gets taken. And Merzlikins is back in. And Merzlikins is back in. Perfect. And we're good to go. We've already done that as we win against the Rangers and win against the Flyers, as Carolina gets Brown, Riley, and Anisimov, as Zingle and Toffoli going the other way. Okay, kind of a sideways deal, but not terrible. As we've got an offer. Why would we want Connor Sheary back? No, absolutely not. As Henrik Lundqvist for 2 picks. No. Gonna have to adjust the trade block. As we win twice in a row, as Anthony Boteto is on waivers. And, 30-year-old defenseman, 77 overall. We don't need him. Johansson and McCabe for Tierney Hallock. No. I'm going to definitely have to make some adjustments in this month. As we are cruising, we've got 4 straight wins. As Ekholm, Bonino, and Mahamanek go to Carolina for Clevin, Mateos, and a first-rounder. So Nashville selling off pieces. And I do not want Lundqvist. Shootout loss. Ottawa gets a first and a second for Zingle and Kulikov. Okay, as they just traded for Zingle. As Verhaeghe is now hurt. And a loss there. And another win against the Sharks. Brandon Montour, no, I do not want him back. And we'll keep going here. Another win. Pekka Rinne in a third. Okay, we need to edit our trade block. We do not want to be getting rid of picks. there we go. As against LA, Johansson for Rene, a third and a fourth. I mean, like, it's just kind of a sideways deal. We don't really need a goaltender. I mean, we do get a third and a fifth, but I feel like we can get more for Johansson. He's a good player. 83 overall, another win there, as we're third in the division by about 5-point lead. And, okay, and another win there. All right, so we're in a really good spot going into the trade deadline. Let's take a look as Eichel is blowing up. All right, so 72 points so far. Fantastic here in 58 games. Reinhardt really slowed down. Olofsson, 51 and 61 is not terrible at all. He's only an 81 overall. Mittelstadt having a great another second season under us. 45 points in 59 games. Dahlin finally starting to find the offensive touches. He's 41 in 58. Now Pozo, 40 and 61. As we go down here, the one I'm really concerned with is Thompson on the fourth line. I didn't want to put him on the fourth line, but, some injuries and whatnot kept him there, and 22 points in 57 games isn't bad. Byfield, here we go. Okay, 21 points in 35 games. I mean, in 11 games, he's gotten, 15 points. So that's not bad at all, as he's finally starting to show up. We needed him. Drysdale still out, which is really rough, and in nets, Merzlikins not doing bad, 3 goals against, so that kind of sucks. In the AHL, this is the one I want to pay attention to, as Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is cruising, as again, our goaltender of the future. As far as point getters go, Bryson at a 75 overall, and Okseri Laaksonen, again, another defenseman here for us, 75 overall, 42 points. And Verhaeghe, 33 and 51. No other huge standouts. As, oops, 1 second here. See any rookies? As Laaksonen the only one. Okay. So, all right. We've, we're in a good spot. Actually, how is the Rochester? Oh, Amarks are doing good now. 32, 21, and 3. 7, 3, and 0 in their last 10. Things you do love to see as they're trying to make a playoff push. So now we can make some trades. Let's see if we can find a deal for Marcus Johansson, as making the playoffs would be great, but we don't want to, lose out on guys and assets. That's still a big part of our rebuild. As Johansson, all right, so Murray and Holtby, I don't want a player. A second and a third for this year. Not terrible for Johansson. Rene in a third, Shiri fourth and a sixth, and a second rounder for Ottawa and Halak. We'll go with the second and third from the Montreal Canadiens, as we will move on from Johansson. Again, kind of one of the last pieces from that past regime before we took over, guys. So we're almost free of all of the mistakes. Well, not that Johansson is a mistake, to be honest, of all the guys that are on this team. We're going to put Drysdale back in the lineup for sure. Two null lines. Let's see if we can move Tage Thompson up here. He has a right-handed shot, though. This is with 3 righties on one line. Not sure if I'm a fan of that. How's Cousins doing? Ugh. Cousins not having a good season. It's 40 points. We're going to try moving Cousins up here with Reinhardt, actually. We're going to see how that goes. See if we can't get Dylan Cousins going. Actually, no. I don't want to do that. Mistake. As far as special teams goes, we don't want Sabatka there. We want Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins. Changing current line. And then let's get Drysdale back into the lineup, as Gilmore can take a seat for Jamie Drysdale, who's up to an 80 overall. Things you like to see. All right, so Drysdale back in there now with Dahlin. He's having a very good season. And okay, now the other one that we could possibly move is Okposo. But again, he's an 84 overall now at at 6 million a year, which isn't terrible, to be honest with you. Like last season when he was only an 81, he progressed quite a bit, and you know, it's not a bad pick. We might hold on to him for one more season, to be honest with you. I mean, there are worse things. Anyone else on expiring years? McCabe. Let's see if we can get anything for Jake McCabe. And it's Rene in a 7th. Dude, they really want to get rid of Rene. A Columbus 2nd, Halak, and a 5th. I don't want Halak, but Halak a 2nd and a 3rd and a 4th. A 2nd and a 3rd. Oh, our own 2nd from the Blues. A 2nd and a 3rd from Tampa. And a 2nd and a 3rd from Toronto. We're probably going to be the worst. Actually, how is Columbus doing? Let's take a peek at Columbus. Let's get a look at the standings before we make this deal. If there is, you know, a major discrepancy, we might be in good shape. I think we're going to make the playoffs here. Where is the Columbus Blue Jackets? They are doing very well. So is Toronto. So are the Sabres, who are in 6th overall in the league. Where's Montreal? They are not doing well. Okay. Let's try that again. And we'll move on from Jake McCabe, as it is time to get rid of him, as he is again on an expiring deal. Yuki Harju is as well. It's only 21 though, and 80 overall. He's fine. Like, I don't want to get rid of him. We'll sign him in the offseason for sure. As Jake McCabe is. We will see what we can get for McCabe. Columbus is doing well. Buffalo is doing well. Okay. We will accept this one. And we'll send him to the St. Louis Blues. Okay, so a couple more assets as far as picks go. Which, again, is fine. What we want here. Let's go to edit lines. As we're going to have to put Gilmore in on the wrong side, which is not what you like to see. Put Pilot up there. And that's okay. Okay, so we did ship out 2 pieces there. And did get some assets back. Anyone else? I don't think so. I think that's really all we wanted to do in terms of shedding any more deals. After that, I mean, Darlene we're going to resign. Harju will resign. Opoza we might move next season, depending on how it goes. Laxinen, Doferov, Tage Thompson I don't want to move. Bryson I don't want to move. Yeah, and then these guys are all, that's fine. Like, these are all just depth guys. So, I'm okay with all that. So, we did move who we've got to move at the deadline. I just want to take a look at our scouts real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you be a quick minute here, guys. I'm going to edit this out, and let's take a look at the draft class, because it is going to be important for us to keep drafting well. As the top end things look great: Brant Clark, Sven Gilson, Darren Card, as these are all medium elites. As we get down here, we need to find, yeah, that's fine. Actually, let's go and take a look. Ugh. Offensive defenseman we do not need. Sven Gilson, a right-wing sniper, to a forward for Card. Othman, Gunther. I mean, again, I guess another winger would be advantageous. We're in a really good spot. Our center depth is insane. Defense, we've got, you know, Jamie Drysdale and Darlene. So that's a really good pair up top to start. And then we've got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in net. So we'll take a look here. I'm going to go and edit the scouting, and I'll be right back, guys. All right, so we took care of all of the scouting and whatnot. So we are ready to move on. The last thing I do want to take a look at, is how many picks do we have going into this year? As, you know, we had to move some last year to move up and down. So we'll take a peek at what we've got. Draft picks. So we've got a first, 3 seconds, 2/3, 3/4. Yeah, we are going to make some moves here at the draft to see if we can't move up and down. We only have one first, which is our own. So maybe we can move into the back end of the first round with a bunch of those second round picks and see if we can't get another impact player. So we are going to play the Leafs and see if we can't get through and into the playoffs, as we will go all the way until the end of March. And here we go. Can we beat the Leafs on trade deadline day? We do not. We win against the Islanders, though. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has been hurt. And Jack Eichel has been hurt. I believe... Is it... Oh, it's for a while, too. Come on, man. Injuries this season have been terrible, chat. We gotta move Okposo up. Larson up. Yeah. This Byfield still having a rough go. So we lose to the Blue Jackets, lose to the Canadiens, lose to Tampa, win against the Capitals. Not good. Okay, here we go. Jack Eichel is able to play. And we can get rid of Johan Larson. Am I missing something here? Oh, that's why. We need to grab another defenseman, so we will... 1 second. Oops, 1 second here. Okay, stop for a second. We need to grab another defenseman from the minors, as we don't have enough. Who are we calling up? Ben Harper will do, as we just need somebody. I don't want to take away from the AHL, as Laxonen and Bryson are doing well there. So Larson can take a seat for... Actually, we'll go like this. Okay, we need to put Eichel here. Eichel there. Cousins there. How's Cousins doing? Still only 20 points. His rookie season not going very well, as we need to put Harper in. Harper goes in. And that's just a... That's fine. So let's special teams wise. Harper is not going to be there, as the injuries are brutal this season for us. There's Cousins there, Byfield, Drysdale, Ristolainen. I'm gonna put Drysdale up on the first unit as power play one. We do not want Harper there. A goal. And wow, these power play lines have been absolutely mangled with. As Byfield goes here with Eichel. Reinhardt with... Who do we want him with? Middlestad. Ristolainen and Dahlin. We'll go like this. Okay. Oops. What about penalty kill? Tage Thompson on the draws. Nice. Not what we want. We want Jurgensen's there. Byfield not on the penalty kill. Not ideal. Put Ryan Strome there, which is also not ideal, but regardless. And we'll put Harper on the penalty kill. Okay, that looks a little bit better, as we need to put Strome out there, as that is not what we want. Harper. Wow, not a good look. Go like that. Okay, that works. Extras, we do not want Harper as an extra. Whoops. We want Eichel. And there we go. Okay, and in nets, Merzlikins. Okay. And as far as in net goes, let's take a peek, because we're going to have to adjust the defense. Yep. On defense, Ian McCoshen can suit up. As Casey Fitzgerald will go here. Okay. And perfect. Okay. I'm sure we'll get an injury immediately. But that was a rough start to the month for our Sabres. Let's finish off this month. A loss, man. We are piling up the losses. As a win against the Rangers gets us back on track, hopefully. Yogi Harju's back, so Harper can get out. Oh my goodness. You know, like I said, making the playoffs wasn't a total necessity, as you know, we still need development is more important, but Vorobiev is out for the AHL, as we've gotten to 40 wins already, as now we're into 4th. We are in the last wild card spots. Oh, as we're starting to fall, though, as we've had a rough go. As Aiden, who's Klushik has done terrible. Aiden Hill has done far better. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has done fantastic, as he is easily going to be our starter of the future. When there, Heichel's out. Eichel is out. Who's hurt there? Stellainen, this is what, 4-4? A win against New Jersey. All right, so let's take a peek at where we stand now with a few games left in the season. All right, we are close. As we are in a playoff spot right now. 3rd in the division by 1 point. 2 points is the wild card. Let's take a look at the East as a whole. As, wow. We have not clinched a playoff spot yet. In the wild card, we are 1 point up. Not ideal. So we need to finish strong here. As far as points go, Eichel 78 and 71. He just did not have a healthy season. Reinhart 60 points. Olofsson 60 points. Middlestad over 50. Dahlin over 50, which again was big. Byfield came on a little bit stronger after his first 25 games, as he only had 7 points in his first 25 games, and is looking at 28 right now. So that's not bad. Tage Thompson. Cousins, rough season there. Drysdale, 51 points, only 51 games, only 20 points. All right, so, but the future is bright for us. All right, can we make the playoffs in year 2 for these Sabres? As we've got a game against the Predators. We'll sim that up until, wow, I love the schedule makers. 3 back-to-back. Great stuff, EA. As we lose, we are still in 3rd. As let's sim this and see what happens. As we are up 2-1, Rodriguez and Byfield. 4-1, Reinhart and Dahlin. And we'll finish this one off 6-1 as we blow out the rival Toronto Maple Leafs. Phenomenal stuff. As Merzlikins is a great game. 3 points for Reinhart. Perfect. All right, so I think that might have guaranteed us a playoff spot. As it did. We are going to the playoffs no matter what in the 2nd season of our rebuild. As Vorobiev is back, we'll fix that as we lose 2. And that could have been rough for our playoff seeding. As we are going to play the Toronto Maple Leafs in round number 1, but look who we get back, as we are going to get Jack Eichel back right in time. Unbelievable. We're going to play Cousins still. Defense, things are okay here. Special teams. Yes. Okay. As far as the AHL goes, let's take a peek. And disappointing season for these Rochester Amherst. Okay. So let's take a look at the playoff. As far as this goes, so, whoops, 1 second, sorry. We'll take a look at the playoff tree here. As in the West, we've got Nashville and the Blackhawks, the Wild and the Ducks. Calgary versus the Vancouver Canucks, and then Vegas and the Phoenix Coyotes. Arizona Coyotes, I'm old. And, yeah, I mean, no California team other than Anaheim. And that's kind of shocking because Anaheim sucks. Capitals versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, Flyers, and Penguins. An all-Florida matchup. Let's go. As a QEW series between the Leafs and Sabres is about to get underway. And we'll take a look at the season as a whole from the rest. So we finished with Reinhart hit 70 points. As far as goals go, Eichel with 35. No one else hit 30, kind of disappointing. But Olofsson with 65 points in 82 games is good. Middlestad gets up to 56 after a disappointing first year. Dahlin, 54 and 79. Okposo, 51 and 82. Ristolainen, 44 and 82. Strome, who we signed to be our third-line center, 42 and 77. A little disappointing, but not terrible. Byfield finishes with 30 points in 56 games. That's disappointing just from a standpoint of he was our first-line center for all 56 of those games and only finished with 30 points, considering that you had Eichel with a lot more. Tage Thompson, who is kind of our only depth forward prospect, 27 and 78. Dylan Cousins, disappointing year for him. And then as we go down, 20 points for Jamie Drysdale. He's going to have to improve next year, hopefully. And as far as the AHL goes, it's still Bryson and Laxonen who are leading the way. Well, let's take a peek here. All right, guys. So our first round matchup. Do I want to do these now? Yes, I want to do the first round now. So let's see how she goes against the Buffalo Sabres in our first ever year in the playoffs. Here we go. First period. And Toronto will score. Matthews will score one on Merzlikins. 1-0 for these Leafs. 8 shots to 14. Second period stays the same, as our defense is holding quite well, but can't bury anything. As we will now sim the third into the third period. Shots are almost dead even. 1-0 for Toronto. And Eichel is going to get us on the board. Let's go. Can we get the lead in regulation? As Eichel ties things up, but Nylander is going to bury late in the third, and that's probably going to do it. It will. Late goal for Nylander. And unfortunately, our offense sputters hard there. In game number 1 as we fall 1-0 in the series to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tough ending there. Don't force overtime. As we'll go into game 2. 3-1. It is 3-1 for the Leafs as Marner, Matthews, and Hyman all score in the first period against Merzlikins. Through the second period, though, Dahlin gets one back, and we're within 1. Can we avoid going down as Thompson's going to get on the board to tie things up? Can another third period where we have to come back to tie things, but Janssen scores over Merzlikins. And again, it's just them answering in the third period after we tie things up, as it's now 5-3. Agostino scores 6-3 as Tavares scores. And they just kind of blow things open in the third period after we tie it up early. And that is going to do it for game number 2. So a rough go in Toronto. Kapanen, Tavares, and Hyman are the 3 stars. as we're going to have to see if we can't make some changes. I don't know what we're going to do as far as rosters, as Austin Strand is hurt. That's fine. Guess Jurgensen is now out. And we'll sim up to Game 3, as we are trailing 0-2 in the series. As now let's take a look. Is Byfield, does he have any points? No, he's a -1. That's not terrible. Olofsson's a -2. I mean, I like the boot. Like, there's not much we can do here. However, Merzlikins has been brutal. Did we put Ben Hutton in? I think so. We're going to put Ben Hutton in for Game 3. See what happens here. I mean, there's not much else we can do. Offensively, our lineup is pretty optimized. As here we go. Game number 3. We're in Buffalo. We're at home. And we're going to go 0-0 into the second period. After 2, 3-0 for Toronto. And their offense is just absolutely destroying us, as we are going to fall 3-0 in the series, it looks like, as our first go into the playoffs. I mean, I wanted to make the playoffs. I didn't want to get swept in the playoffs. So, as we get back on the board, Tage Thompson scores. Too little too late here, though, as Kerfoot gets one back on Merzlikins, who obviously chased Carter Hutton. Rough go here is... yeah. Merzlikins is going to go back in. It's just a goaltending thing at this point. Like, we are not getting any saves. His wall is out of control here for Buffalo, or for Toronto, as we might get swept by the rival Maple Leafs in year 2. I mean, like I said, I'm okay with the fact that, you know, we made the playoffs. That was the biggest thing, and it wasn't even super needed this season. Can we avoid being swept? That would be super sweet, as here we go. As we look at the stats here, yeah, they are just far better than us in every way, shape, and form, except for a net. But Wall has been absolutely insane. All right, Game 4. Can we stave off elimination? 1-0 for Hyman after 1. 4-2 as Dermott and Hyman score with Bracco, with Drysdale and Olofsson get on the board. That's probably it. 4-2 going into the third period. Will we have a miracle? I don't think so, as we are out shooting Toronto. But their offense was just, yeah, Bracco scores now. Agostino scores. They absolutely destroyed us in this first round. And you know what? That's okay. The Leafs are far ahead in their rebuild compared to us, and we are going to be knocked in the first round. That is tough. We got destroyed in net, and we've got some things to take care of in the offseason. But, you know, getting swept sucks, but hey, maybe it helps out our development of the boys going through some rough stuff here, as we'll sim through the playoffs here, see who does make it on. As Jurgensen's back, thank God. Tough looks there, guys, but it's all about the progression and how our team gets better. As we take a look at the draft classes, you know, we're not gonna have a really good first round pick, but that's okay. We'll see where she goes. There's a couple options here. Matthias Trigg. Two-way, do we need another two-way defense? That's a nice looking defenseman. Medium elite? Yeah. Sign me up there. Salmelainen. Not bad at all. We'll see what we can get. The Minnesota Wild win the cup. Okay, yay. Let's chill. As the Minnesota Wild win the Stanley Cup. All right, and here are the draft lottery results. As Los Angeles stays at 1, Colorado goes from 3-2. How did they mess up their franchise? The Rangers move up to 3. Ottawa falls to 4th. Dallas falls to 5th. Montreal falls to 6th. St. Louis falls to 7th. And then nothing really helping us there, as we don't have a pick there. So we are at the draft. Let's see who retired real quick. Stafford, ex-Buffalo great. Blake Como, Trevor Daley, Steve Bernier, Shark great. Yeah, these are all free agents. What about in nets? Ryan Miller's done. Man, it's all about these Sabres. Mike Smith, McElhenney, Fast, and Thiessen. All right. Coach retirement. Did we lose anyone? We did lose Sven Josefsson. That looks to be it. As Nate Prosser and Trevor Daley. As there are no scouts. Okay. As we are now at the NHL entry draft. Last thing I would like to see is the awards for the year. We didn't look back at last year's. Washington won last season. Minnesota Wild winning this year. Congrats to them. The President's Trophy going to the Toronto Maple Leafs for the second straight season, as they demolished us in the first round. The Clarence Campbell Bowl to the Minnesota Wild. The Toronto Maple Leafs make it to the Stanley Cup fall. And we'll look at the individual awards now, as Connor McDavid wins the Art Ross Trophy, beating Kane. Kane won it last year. McDavid wins the Hart. Kane won it last year. Erik Karlsson wins the Norris. Keith Yandel won it last season. Okie dokie. Lady Bing goes to Karlsson. And the Calder Memorial Trophy goes to Lucas Raymond from the St. Louis Blues, beating out Byfield and Lafreniere. Conn Smythe to Eric Stahl. That's good to see. The Vezina to Devin Dubnyk. Not really surprising. William Jennings, same thing. Bill Masterson to Nate Schmidt. The Jack Adams to the Buffalo Sabres coach. Let's go. We won the Jack Adams Trophy. All right, okay. We got the Jack Adams Trophy. Can't complain there. As the Selke goes to Kopitar. Lindsay goes to McDavid. And Ovechkin wins his 4th straight Rocket Richard Trophy. That is insane. Unbelievable. So we take a look at the AHL real quick. Victor Rask wins the most points. Les Cunningham Award. Most valuable player goes to Leshinsky. Forsback Carlson wins the most goals. Leshinsky wins. The Eddie Shore Award goes to Alsing. The Baz goes to Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as the league's best goaltender, which is great news for us. Swayman, what a good name. In the Calder Cup playoffs, he wins the Jack A. Butterfield Trophy. As Vishnevsky wins the Hunt Memorial. Paschal wins the Yannick Dupre Trophy. And the Hap Holmes to Anders Nielsen. So there we go. That is going to do it for this season, as we have to prepare for the draft. I mean, let's take a look. Can we see the progress report? See who increased it all. As Bryson up to a 76 overall. Eichel up to a 92. Olofsson now an 84 overall after his strong season. Jamie Drysdale is an 83 as he's starting to develop quite a bit. Good to see. Okposo stays at an 84. Yoki Harju up to an 81 is our top 4 defenseman. Dahlin is now pushing 90. Byfield up to an 83. Again, we wanted to see more from him, but he was hurt. Ristolainen to an 87. Reinhardt, 87. Dylan Cousins is a 78 still, as he had a rough go. Strome stays the same. Middlestad is an 84. How is he only an 84? He had a great season. Pilot, Tage Thompson stays a 78. Merzlikins is an 80. Let's take a look at in the system. Is Mason Howard up to a 70 overall? My man, going to be in the AHL for us this season. Brett Murray is a 73 overall. Ryan Johnson, 71. Matej Pekar, 69. Cederqvist, Laxinen up to a 76, as he's going to be pushing the NHL this season. Casey Fitzgerald at a 75. It's Cole Sherwood, 75 as well. A lot of these guys we signed to be just, depth options to fill in for us here. So nothing crazy here. Is Dorofiev, 65. The one we want, though, the one we need is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is 78, so he's probably going to increase after the season. So, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. We are going to go into the draft and see what we can do. We've got a bunch of picks we can move to try and trade up, and we'll see what we can do as we go into year 3. We did make the playoffs this season, so I'm really excited about that. We'll see if we can't make an turn us into a contender going into next season, guys. So, again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys tomorrow.